What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming packages, the next physical infrastructure package, and the next stimulus package, which is really part one and part two, that they're probably going to end up passing these next two packages together, as well as what is going on in our country today, as well as what is going on in Washington, D.C. today. Happy 4th of July from our family to your family. Let me know what you're doing today for 4th of July. It's going to be almost 90 degrees here today in Ohio. Yeah, we're going to be having some friends and families here, or friends and family here later on. Also, we will be having some special guests for our 3 p.m. and our 8 p.m. video here on the show here today, later on today. Thanks for spending your 4th of July holiday with us. Let me know what you're doing. Are you cooking out? Are you shooting off fireworks? And how hot it is? Yeah, it's going to be a hot one here in Ohio. And I know it's hotter in some other parts of the country. So let me know what you're doing. And make sure you catch our next two videos because we will have some special guests for you. Also, don't forget to smash the like button just like a firework would on 4th of July. Let me know if you're seeing any fireworks either. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens this weekend. 4th of July can get a little crazy. Also, I want to make sure you guys are not falling for any scams. If you see anybody in the comments that say, it's Jimmy, and they don't have a check mark by their name or a circle around their name, then they're not me. I always have a check mark by their name, by my name, or a circle around my name, which means I'm verified by YouTube. You can only get that when you have over 100,000 subscribers and you go through a manual verification process. And there's a lot of scammers right now on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, even Twitter that are basically impersonating anybody who has a large following across all these different platforms and trying to scam you. I don't use WhatsApp at all. If you see any comments of somebody pretending to be me, using my name, using my picture down below in the comments saying, contact me on WhatsApp for an investment opportunity, it's not me. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. It's going on all over YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. I'm hoping that YouTube and these other algorithms or these other platforms can get these algorithms to stop this, ban this, and program this into their platforms to stop this down. Just like this new program I seen. Let me show this to you. If you're also getting these on spam calls, by the way, there's a lot of these scams going on for IRS tax refunds, stimulus checks, student loan debt forgiveness, all sorts of things like that, Social Security raises. Like if anybody calls you and says, yeah, we can get you student loan debt forgiveness, all you got to do is give us your credit card. Don't do it. There's a lot of those type of things going on right now. And if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably probably is, right? That's why whenever I go over these stimulus programs that can put thousands of dollars in your pocket, that a lot of people don't know about. I'll have one for you guys in this video. I like to show it to you right on screen. A lot of times they're directly from a government website. I'll actually have one directly from a government website here today that can put up to, I think it's $9,000 in your pocket. Of course, it's only for certain people. A lot of these different stimulus programs are for certain groups. But really, there's so many of them that they kind of a lot of them add up to a lot of people. But I really like to bring you all these different programs. Whether they're for different states, cities, and counties, whether they're Social Security raises and Medicare raises, or if they're child tax credits that are just for people with children, whatever they are, I like to let you guys know about them because if it could put money in your pocket, I like to tell you about it, let you know the details, how to apply, and show you it on the screen so it's real. But if you're getting phone calls and someone's asking you for a credit card in return to get money or saying, hey, contact me on WhatsApp, don't do it. Don't give your credit card to anybody you don't trust. But we might be seeing some of these robocalls or these spam calls actually be significantly reduced in the near future. Check this out. As you can see here, those annoying robocalls aren't going to stop completely today, but they could slow down significantly soon. A new prevention program developed by the FCC, which officially went into effect this week, could begin to offer some relief later this year. The program called Stir/Shaken is a set of technical standards that mobile carriers are required to adopt to help prevent call spoofing. If you have call ID, you ever get those calls where it's like from your exact area code? Sometimes it's actually from your exact phone number because they just spoof it. Like if your area code is 234, almost all the time these fake spammers or spoofers are calling from your exact area code 234. And just as an example, right? Because they're spoofing the caller ID. They're just making it up. They're matching your area code to make it more likely for you to pick up the phone. This tactic used by robocallers to make an incoming call look like it's from your area code, so you're more likely to pick up. Robocalls from spoof numbers aren't just an annoyance, they're dangerous, capable of scamming people out of money or sensitive personal information, such as your social security number. Under this new stirred and shaken protocol, carriers, mobile phone carriers, and phone carriers are required to certify with varying confidence levels that calls really are coming from these numbers displayed on the caller ID. The deadline for most big carriers to implement the standards was Wednesday, and major carriers all said that they have signed on. The idea is this: when your wireless carrier processes an inbound call that doesn't have a certification letting it know that the number is legitimate, the carrier will be able to block it before your phone ever starts ringing. So basically, the FCC has kind of set this new spam filter type of algorithm program that they're forcing all the major carriers and landlines, all these phone companies, that they had to basically have this set up by this last Wednesday, and is now set up. And basically, it's going to help prevent a lot of these spam calls. So let me know down below in the comments if you've seen a reduction of spam calls within the last few days since Wednesday. And hopefully this will continue on going forward as the algorithm gets a little bit smarter, as they maybe tighten up things a little bit. You know, they can't be too tight on an algorithm like this at the beginning because, well, they don't want to block like real people that are trying to just call their mom or dad or something like that. So, you know, generally they get smarter as things go on a little bit and they can test things a little bit. But this is good to see because I know there's times sometimes where we get dozens of spam calls a day. And we actually have a home phone through our cable provider, Time Warner Cable, because we just like to have a home phone. Let me know if you do. I think it's only $5 a month because it's kind of with our cable plan. And sometimes our home phone will get dozens of spam calls a day, and man, it's really annoying. But Time Warner Cable has a spam filter kind of thing like this that they've had for a while, that if they detect that it's a spam number that maybe a lot of people have hung up on, or whatever their algorithm is, that it'll ring once and then their own spam filter just kind of hangs up on it. So it's better than nothing. Sometimes you have to kind of like, you'll see the caller ID, it actually pops up on your TV, which is kind of cool. And it'll ring once and then it'll stop ringing. So you're like, oh, well, that's a spam call. But now they're saying that these won't even ring. And a lot of carriers don't even have programs like this. So it will be good to see a lot of these spam calls go away and not have these people from, a lot of these calls come from other countries like Nigeria and stuff. And they're calling from a VoIP. They're calling from a computer actually to your cell phone or your landline. And hopefully this will prevent that from happening, or prevent it, a large percentage of this happening in the future. The petition for the fourth stimulus check $2,000 monthly payments gained over 50,000 signatures in just 1 week and has now surpassed over 2.8 million signatures on change.org. It's weird though because I actually go to the actual petition and it's almost 2.5 million signatures. But this article here says 2.8 million signatures. I don't know if we're just splitting hairs here. But regardless, is that this petition is nearing 2.5 million to 2.8 million signatures and is continuing to gain more and more popularity every single day. In fact, we're starting to see more and more articles like this from Newsweek.com, which is a major publication, and we're starting to see more and more national publication for and about for stimulus checks, and even about monthly recurring stimulus checks, and about this exact petition. So this is one of the largest petitions I've ever seen. If you haven't signed this yet, after this video, just go to Google and type in change.org $2,000 stimulus check, and you'll find it. I'm sure it'll be the first result, and you can sign it. I'm sure we will get to over 2.5 million signatures here within the next week or so. And we are really getting a lot of buzz over fourth stimulus checks. In fact, Senator Bernie Sanders recently tweeted, he says, "What stimulus checks meant for the people? Financial instability fell by 43%. Families and food shortages fell by 42%. Anxiety and depression fell by 20%. Yes, government can and should continue to address the needs of working people and not just the 1%. Now, coincidentally, Bernie Sanders happens to be one of the leading people, or I should say senators, that are in favor. There's more than half of the Democratic senators, 28 of them, that are actually in favor of not just a fourth stimulus check, but for monthly recurring stimulus checks to be included in this next infrastructure package. Remember, infrastructure really kind of means both. The part one is the physical infrastructure package. Part two is the human infrastructure package, or the social infrastructure package, or the stimulus package. They're probably going to be passed in tandem and passed together. Senator Bernie Sanders and both Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer are both backers of the Senate bill by Senators Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren that are $2,000 monthly stimulus checks that would go until the pandemic is declared over. Now, there is actually plenty of money for at least a fourth stimulus check, or possibly monthly recurring stimulus checks in this next stimulus package. In fact, Senator Bernie Sanders and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer are actually seeking as high as $6 trillion for the two packages combined. I personally don't think that they're going to equal up $6 trillion when all is said and done, but I do think that's a nice high starting point and gives them room to negotiate and end up passing maybe somewhere around maybe $4 trillion, maybe a little bit higher, which would still leave plenty of money left over for stimulus checks. There are plenty of Democrats in both the House and the Senate, over 100 of them now, between the House and the Senate combined, that are in favor of at least a fourth stimulus check, if not the monthly recurring stimulus check. In fact, I should say President Joe Biden is also in favor, I should say. He has actually said nothing negative about a fourth stimulus check. He's actually said he's open to a fourth stimulus check. He's open to the idea. He actually said he's happy to hear about the idea of a fourth stimulus check, and that if Congress wants to put one in there, that they can put a fourth stimulus check in there, and he'd be okay with it. Now, the next coming days is where it's going to get interesting, because this is where they're going to decide what is going to be in the next stimulus package known as the American Families Plan. Okay, they're going to pass this through the reconciliation process, which means that they're going to pass it without any Republican support. So whatever Republicans think really doesn't matter for the next stimulus package. Okay, remember, not a single Republican, and I'm not saying that like being from either side. This is just kind of the reality of things, right? Not a single Republican voted yes on the third stimulus check package. The Democrats passed it on their own without a single Republican vote from the House or the Senate for the third stimulus check package, and that is exactly what they're going to do with the next stimulus package, named the American Families Plan. Now, there's about $2 trillion. There's a little bit less, but there was $2 trillion. I'll give you the details here. There was $2 trillion of stimulus money that was sitting there, already passed, that can be used for the next stimulus and infrastructure package. Okay. Now, to use it, they have to vote on it. They have to repurpose it. Okay. They did give $350 billion of it, since that has gone out to the states, cities, and counties, of which we're seeing these statewide stimulus checks like California and New Jersey and the North Carolina proposal and all these different ones for mortgage assistance, rental assistance, property tax assistance, utility assistance. I'll link you to a video I just did about all the checks that are going out in all the different cities, states, and county areas. There's a lot of different programs going out like that. A lot of people don't even know about them unless they watch this show. Okay. But besides that, that was $350 billion. That leaves about $1.65 trillion left over. The bipartisan group from the Senate, both Republicans and Democrats, for the physical infrastructure package, they want to use $600 billion of that leftover stimulus money for the next physical infrastructure package. So they're going to use $600 billion of old stimulus money and $600 billion of new stimulus money, or new infrastructure money, maybe I should say. That's going to leave still about $1 trillion left over that they can use for the next stimulus package. And they will probably use at least half, if not all of it. If they use or want to use that for the next stimulus package, which they probably will, they can use up to $3,000 that could pay. $1 trillion equals about $3,000 in stimulus checks. So yeah, they could pay for $3,000 in stimulus checks, or $1,000 stimulus checks monthly for 3 months, just as an example, with this $1 trillion that's sitting there. Or to make people like Senator Joe Manchin happy, because again, he may object to another stimulus check, he may not. He did say, and I have his actual wording. I'll link you to a video he just that I have him on the show, not on the show, but I have his clip on the show of him saying he will vote yes on the next stimulus package. He literally said that. He's just saying that he's not sure what's in the package yet because, well, they don't know yet. They haven't really done the negotiations yet. Even Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi couldn't tell you what's in the next stimulus package yet. So anybody that tells you that yes, there isn't a stimulus package, or yes, there is a stimulus check in the next package, or no, there's for sure no stimulus check in the next package, they're lying to you, or they're just giving you their opinion, because even the Senate Majority Leader does not know what is in the next stimulus package. That is kind of where the exciting time is. Over the next coming days, we're going to find out what is going to be in there. Is there going to be a forced stimulus check? Is it going to be monthly recurring stimulus checks? Are we going to see these Social Security raises? Are we going to see this Medicare expansion to include hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids, which Senator Bernie Sanders says up to 75% of seniors do not have coverage for that? Are we going to see the Medicare eligibility age lowered to age 60 or age 55? Are we going to see home buyer credits up to $25,000? Are we going to see 2 years of free college, community college, which will be a game changer? 2 years of free preschool for everybody that makes below a certain income threshold, which is probably going to be the same as the third stimulus check. So easiest way to think about it, a lot of these benefits, if you qualify for the third stimulus check, you'll qualify for the fourth stimulus check most likely. As well as if you qualify for the third stimulus check, you qualify for the child tax credits. So a lot of these different things are going to be negotiated here. And they can be negotiated up until the day they pass it in the Senate, okay? So, as well as the House. In fact, on the third stimulus check package, they passed it in the House, and then the Senate changed it. Okay, the Senate changed it, and they actually removed the minimum wage provision to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and they added in that $10,200 unemployment provision that made $10,200 of tax unemployment money tax-free, and that meant the average person on unemployment got an extra $1,000 stimulus check or IRS tax refund check. Also, let me tell you about this new program that kind of got changed before I forget. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says that Representative AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, representative from New York, says that her and Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, worked side by side to ensure flexibility for families of those who died early in COVID to be able to get access to FEMA's funeral funding. They just made a change to this, okay? So as you can see here, FEMA has a program now that was passed from the second stimulus check package that they will pay for the funeral of anybody who died from the pandemic. So if you had a family member die from the pandemic, my condolences, first of all. Second of all, the government will pay up to $9,000 for this. So if you or anybody you know died, if you obviously you didn't die from the pandemic, because you wouldn't be listening to this video, right? Yeah. But if you had a family member die from the pandemic or anybody you know died from the pandemic, share this video with them because you can get up to $9,000 paid for the funeral expenses by the federal government. This is one of those programs that like nobody knows about unless they watch the show, and it's like $9,000. And they just made a key change to this program, which makes it easier for some people to get the money. Check this out. Okay, as you can see here, FEMA amended its coronavirus funeral assistance policy to help families who lost loved ones in the early months of the pandemic, but whose death certificates didn't specify that coronavirus was the cause of death. Okay, it's only for this particular change is only from January 20th to May 16th for 2020 of last year, for the cause of death on the death certificate. I'll show you those details here. Actually, let me just show them to you right now. Okay, so here is the change here. For deaths that occurred after May 16th, 2020, the death certificate must indicate the death was attributed to the COVID-19. Okay. For deaths that occurred from January 20th to May 16th of last year, any death certificate that does not attribute the cause of death to COVID-19, it can now just be accompanied by a signed statement listed as COVID-19 as the cause or a contributing cause of the death. And you have to get a signed statement by a local medical examiner from the jurisdiction or a statement from an additional explanation. So you can kind of read through this here if this applies to you, but it makes it easier so the certificate doesn't necessarily have to list that COVID-19 was the only cause for this if it happened between January 20th and May 16th of 2020. If it happened after that, you can still get reimbursed. It's just the death certificate has to say the cause was COVID-19. Here's how to apply. This phone number is here on the screen, 844-684-6333. This is FEMA.gov. If you want to find this website, just go to Google after this and just type in FEMA Funeral Assistance. This is an official government website, official government phone number here. You can get up to $9,000 paid for funeral expenses. So yeah, this is one of those programs that, I mean, it might not affect you, but if it does, this is a lot of money, and it's really good to know about this type of stuff. So I will keep you up to date with all stimulus related items as well as breaking news and stuff you need to know about. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m. 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribing is completely free to do so, and click the bell icon after subscribing to all notifications to get reminder notifications when we go live with new videos. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. This bottom video is about states, cities, and other stimulus check programs that are sending out checks in July, August, and September. And this video is about Senator Joe Manchin, who says that he will be voting yes over the next stimulus package. And I'll put, even this bottom video is about President Biden's Social Security increase. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.